Well, something else that we've all been talking about is the recent article in the Globe and Mail profiling the extraordinary efforts on behalf of certain newborn babies that are being made by a Vancouver hospital. Maggie.
Yeah, well, St. Paul's Hospital in Vancouver has started a new service for that particular hospital. I mean, it's an age-old thing that has been happening, but basically they've created this door on the side beside the ER service entrance. There's a bassinet there. And if a mother feels that she has no other choice but to leave or abandon her child, she has the ability to do that. She can leave her child there. There's an alarm that goes off after 30 seconds, and no strings attached. She's not going to be reported, and they'll take the child in and
it's called Angel's Cradle,
yeah,
isn't it? What a beautiful name.
And what a complex issue. I mean, you have to think from the very beginning, for a woman to be desperate, you know, to really abandon their child without, you know, I mean, and I'm not being judgmental or of any sorts because we don't know the circumstances, but I think that grieves me from the front end, that there's no one that she can turn to, there's no support, there's no network, and that she has to feel that she has to abandon her child.
Or that she doesn't know that there's support.
Or she doesn't know. You know what, Maggie, you're right.
And the doctor makes it clear that there are a lot of signs outside of the doors stating that there, you know, what social agencies are available and what other options are available. And so I think it's interesting because they did have a case where a parent did leave a child behind in the hospital. And so he felt that this is a safe place to do this.
And I think they're referring to newborn babies, aren't they?
Yes.
These women who are...
Can't take your kids there.
Yeah, these no matter how tempting.
But this
the women who are really desperate,
right,
who give birth and no other way.
Right, but I think this also brings up the question, does this encourage then for people to abandon their children? And that's a discussion that's kind of posed in the article. Does this encourage women to...
Well, in 2004, we were in Johannesburg, South Africa, and we visited one of 3 Door of Hope locations, and it's a hole in the wall. It's like a bread box with a sensor. And they were getting 40 to 50 babies a month delivered there. And I'll tell you where those babies were found prior to that and are still being found, you know, in washrooms, in garbage bags, in dumpsters.
Well, Moira, when I was adopted, you know, in the early 70s in the Philippines, I wasn't one of these babies, but there was a number of places in Catholic churches that had the drawer. And basically the drawer babies, they were padded with carpet. Women could put their babies in, and the reason why is the same thing. Found in the rivers, in bags tied on the side of the road where, you know, the nuns and missionaries would hear whimpering along the street, and they said, we can't let this happen, so we have to find an alternative for women to give their babies up or put them somewhere. So there's 2 girls I know from the Philippines now who don't know the background, medical history, because they were one of those babies, you know, brought in the drawer. So, I mean, this opens up a lot of issues, this situation, because there's one where you're saying, you know, you don't want babies dumped in the river or in a dumpster or in a stairwell. But the other part is we need to be a better culture and society that gives women options and opportunity. I think every church, to be honest, ladies, should say, we will take every single mother, any girl that is pregnant, and we will support them for 5 years. I mean, let's be audacious.
Truly loving
but don't,
your neighbor as
exactly.
yourself.
You know, be other-centered. And what does Jesus call us to do that's pure and faultless religion? Is to take care of the orphans and the widows and the
make
single
adoption
mom.
easier.
Absolutely.
So many broken hearts,
Absolutely.
and they're throwing babies away. You know, anyway, sorry.
Well, it's a good conversation that I think needs to keep going on.